Howdy, my name is Nonat, and are you aware that in Pathfinder First Edition there was something called a teamwork feat? This was a completely unique type of feat that were incredibly powerful and granted insane bonuses and effects, but required multiple people in the party to have this feat in order to function. Well, today we're going to talk about them, I'm going to give you some examples, and we're going to talk about whether or not they should come back in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, or if they might already have. But before we jump into that, I would like to ask you to please scroll down and hit the like button on this video. Honestly, at this point, with the removal of the dislike button, the like button doesn't have as much meaning, and at this point it should just be called the please show this to other people who might find it interesting button. But for real, we live in a world on YouTube where the like button is more important than a comment or a view. I'd say one like is worth more than 5 unique views. It's all incredibly weird, so if you would, please hit the like button. And if you want to, leave a comment too. The algorithm does still really enjoy those, and more important than that, I really enjoy those. I love seeing your comments, I love responding to you when I get the chance, so thank you for your engagement. Let's talk teamwork feats. Like I said at the beginning of the video, teamwork feats were incredibly powerful in Pathfinder First Edition, and were supposed to be balanced because not just you, but somebody else would have to take that feat in order for it to function. No feat shows this more, the most overpowered option with the restriction, than Outflank from First Edition. This feat is insane. I would go on to say it is game-breaking. Now, you do need a base attack bonus of +4, but that means like a fighter or any other martial could take this at level 4. So what does it do? Well, if you and an ally who also has Outflank happen to be flanking the same enemy, instead of getting +2 from flanking, you get +4. So if you and your friend are both playing up-close martials like a fighter and a barbarian or something, then you're always probably going to be trying to flank anyway. So why not turn that +2 into a +4 to hit? And remember, you can get this at level 4. Oh, is that not overpowered enough for you? Is that not strong enough? Well, how about this? If you or your ally ever get a critical hit while flanking, the other one can make an attack of opportunity. And don't forget that attack of opportunity is at +4 because you're flanking. Now remember, this is supposedly balanced because back in Pathfinder First Edition, you only got a feat at levels 2, 4, 6, and so on, unless you were a fighter. But Outflank took away one of your feats. Not just one, but one from each of you. So in order to get this bonus, you're both giving up a feat which can give you some serious power, something like Power Attack or Cleave or something like that. But I don't think that compares to the insane power of Outflank. And the overpowered feats aren't just kept to melee. Take a look at Target of Opportunity. Sure, you need to be level 6 and have the point blank shot feat to take this, but if you and an ally both have this and you're both within 30 feet of the same enemy, well guess what? Once per round, if one of you lands a normal hit, the other one can make an attack of opportunity. On a ranged character who's probably not going to be making normal attacks of opportunity anyway, this is just 2 extra attacks for your team per turn. This is ridiculous. Sure, you need to be level 6, but that's nuts. Now, again, there's an issue that we can see creeping in here. This feat requires another feat just to take it. Not only that, but in order to use it, 2 of you need to have this feat. So not only do both of you need to take Target of Opportunity, but both of you also need to take Point Blank Shot. Do you see an issue forming here? You're gonna have very similar builds, allowing for very little unique diversity within characters in the party. Sure, one of you could be a fighter with a short bow and the other one could be a gunslinger, but you're still gonna have point blank shot, you're still gonna have target of opportunity, and you might have some other feats that are just generally good. This was a recurring issue in Pathfinder First Edition, not just because of teamwork feats, but because of feat trees in general. If you wanted to be up close and you wanted to do anything fancy, you sure as hell know you're getting Power Attack, because that unlocks like 6 other fancy abilities like Cleave. And some of these got insanely complex to unlock for honestly very minimal rewards. Let's take a look at Giant Slaying Team. You needed 13 dexterity, you need the dodge feat, you need the mobility feat, you need the defensive training racial trait, you need a base attack bonus of at least +4, which is going to be about level 4 or 5 depending on your class, And what do you get for taking all of this on 2 characters? If a giant type creature misses its attack of opportunity, you can attack of opportunity. Not if it misses an attack. If it misses an attack of opportunity, you can attack of opportunity. Sure, if this happens, that's amazing. If you can take this on a team of 4 little halflings and you're fighting a giant and one of you does something to provoke the attack, sure, everybody gets to strike it. Really neat. But that is a lot of hoops to jump through. So where am I going with this? Well, teamwork feats, while restrictive in First Edition, were really cool. You could still flavor them as your characters getting better at working together. They're not focusing on themselves as much, so they put their focus into the teamwork rather than their own personal feats, which is cool, and the list is massive! There were so many teamwork feats by the end of First Edition's lifespan, so why are there none in Pathfinder 2nd Edition? Well, what if I told you there are teamwork feats in Pathfinder 2nd Edition? They're just masquerading as something different. I would like to point out for the jury and the judge, the sniping duo archetype. This is an archetype from Guns and Gears that, if you're not aware, when you take the dedication, you select one ally, and that ally permanently becomes your spotter. This archetype grants you and your spotter a various number of different abilities that affect both of you, including your spotter. They'll get the bonuses too. In fact, right when you take the dedication, if you or your spotter hit a target during a round of combat, and then the other person hits them in that same round, they get to add +1 damage per damage die. It's not a lot, but hey, that's just in the dedication. This is basically a teamwork feat. This only affects you and your spotter, but it also affects them, which is something we haven't seen a lot of in Pathfinder 2e yet. I know there's, I think, a sorcerer feat that lets you pick a target and use things on them, and I think the witch can cast spells from an ally's position or something like that, so that's almost teamwork, but this is the most teamwork feat we've seen so far. Exploit opening is like a weaker version of target opportunity, like we talked about earlier. If your spotter critically hits a target, then you can use your reaction to make a ranged attack of opportunity at them at -2. Sure, it's only on a critical hit and you get a penalty to it, but remember, there was so much less feat tax to take this. All you needed was the dedication and this feat on one person. Your ally didn't have to take anything to make this happen. So obviously Sniping Duo isn't exactly the same as a teamwork feat, but it does really feel like a spiritual successor to them. So, what does this mean for the future of Pathfinder 2e? Well, at the time of recording this video, the Sniping Duo is from the newest book, as far as mechanics are concerned, Guns and Gears. And I personally think this is Paizo testing the waters, gauging crowd reaction, and seeing whether or not they want to make more archetypes like it. Because personally, I think that is the way to go. Archetypes that upon taking the dedication, you pick an ally, and from then on, you and that ally get bonuses, rather than forcing both of you to spend your feats on the exact same thing. Maybe going forward we'll see something cool like Wrestling Duo, Spell Duo, or like Flanking Duo. I honestly think duo archetypes would be an amazing way to handle teamwork feats in 2nd edition. Something that only one person has to take for a feat, make it an archetype so they're locked in, and make them weaker since there's less of a feat tax to get the bonus. But I think we could see some really cool stuff come back. Maybe Flanking Duo could give you something kind of like Outflank from 1st edition. Not that overpowered, because screw that, but maybe give you and one ally the ability that, as long as you are adjacent to the same enemy, you are flanking. You don't need to make a perfect cross-section. As long as you're both attacking the same target in melee, you're flanking. Maybe give them something like 1st edition's Precise Strike, where you deal 1d6 extra damage to the target while flanking. There could be a lot of cool stuff to play with there, you just need to keep it low and balanced. Like, I think that 1d6 extra damage, I'd make that at least a level 4 or 6, probably a level 6 feat, similar to the sneak attack from the Rogue archetype. Alternatively, there's a few other ways they could do it. We could see something just called the Teamwork archetype, which just is loaded with different teamwork feats that require both characters to have it. I don't think I'd like that as much, because the big issue I have with First Edition Teamwork feats is that everybody needs to take the same feats to benefit, but who knows, it could be a possibility. And then the final alternative would be making it a variant rule. Release teamwork feats, and like every 5 levels you get another feat to spend on teamwork feats, but at that point you're reaching sort of feat bloat, where at that point you'd have skill feats, ancestry feats, class feats, general feats, teamwork feats. That would be a little too much, and I don't think that would be the way to go. Honestly, I think the duo archetypes are perfect. So Paizo, if you're watching this, I know some of you are, let's get more duo feats. I love the sniper duo. I'd love to see some stuff from melee. I'd love to see some stuff for spellcasters. Let's see more duo archetypes, alright? Let me know down in the comments if you guys want to see more as well, if you love the sniper duo and you'd love to see that opportunity for more types of classes. I think a lot of people would really get a kick out of it. The hard part is just going to be keeping it balanced. I want to give a huge shout out to my patrons for helping me out with keeping the channel going, keeping everything running. They are about to get a cool list of dying actions. If you didn't watch that video, there should be a link in the corner of the video to check that out. That'll be coming out within the next week. That's it for me. Otherwise, I'm going to keep on rambling. So thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And until next time, no nat ones.